Good afternoon. It is Saturday and it's 4 o'clock, so it must be time for the Senior Moment. This is Connie Clark with Home Helpers, and this afternoon in the studio with me I have Sally Richards, and she is one of the board members of Elder Help of North Idaho. And I thought, this would be really great information to bring to the community because they have some winter programs that they're going to start working on. And so I think a lot of people really need to know what Elder Help does, and if you need elder help, how to get them, and if you want to volunteer, how to volunteer. So welcome, Sally.
Hi, thank you, Connie.
What is elder help? Give me the definition of elder help.
Well, Elder Help is a 501c3 nonprofit agency here in Kootenai County, and we serve senior citizens. Our mission is to assist senior citizens who have limited resources, whether that be financial or little support from family members or whatever, so that they can remain independent in their own homes comfortably. And we do that through caring community volunteers. How long has Elder Help been around? Well, it's been around. I've got involved in 2005, but it's actually been involved, it actually started about 10 years prior to that. So in the late 90s, the Board of Realtors actually here in the Coeur d'Alene area started it, seeing the need with seniors who were low income that needed help with repairs and things like that. So they had some volunteers that they banded together, and we're doing little projects for seniors. And then the program fizzled, and then it got started up again through what we call our founder, John Corcoran, who was with RE/MAX of North Idaho. He was a realtor, or is a realtor, and he kind of took it under his wing and started it back up again. And it's become a very successful and vibrant part of the senior community here in Kootenai County now.
I know I often hear it mentioned when people are talking about helping seniors or people that need something. Well, why not call Elder Help? I have your brochure here that talks about all the different things that you all do, but one of the things that I see in here is how do I qualify for help? And I see there's a couple of very specific items that says how would someone know if they qualify for help first?
Well, first of all, the best place to start is you need to know that you have to own your own home. We don't deal with any situations where there's a landlord involved or rental situation for obvious reasons, because we do a lot of times it can involve repairs to a residence.
And you'd rather repair the senior's home versus the
correct.
Landlord's?
Oh,
okay.
yes, absolutely.
That makes sense.
And what we advise is for the senior or a family member, if they feel that they know someone who needs help, they can just refer someone, or if they have a family member or the senior themselves can call our office, which I will give the telephone number, and I'm sure you'll give it several times throughout this broadcast. That phone number is 661-8870 here in the Kootenai County area. And we don't always have a live person to answer that phone because we only have an office manager who works part-time. And we do have some volunteers that help answer the phone, and we try to call people back within 24 hours. And as far as qualifications, we do check income. We do ask that people apply, for services who are in the most need. We would prefer people who are a lower income and don't have other family members or other resources to help them with their situation, because we really want to be about helping those people who don't have another resource to turn to.
Okay.
We can certainly help people with pointing them towards other resources, such as Community Action Partnership or Area Agency on Aging or one of those. Our income qualifications are $1,200 for a single senior, and that person needs to be 60 years of age and up, or 55 years of age and disabled.
Okay.
And then a couple, if it's a married couple, the income is $2,000
okay.
a month for a couple.
Okay, and it says that the work required consists of safety or health-related issues. So
Right.
if it's a safety issue, not necessarily a cosmetic issue,
Correct. Yes.
then that's what it has to be.
Yes,
Okay, well
if
that
there's- yeah.
all that makes sense. So some of the things that you have listed on here, and the last one I wasn't totally aware of, is installing handrails. Is that outside, inside?
Well, mainly what our focus has been, we feel that we serve people that would necessarily perhaps fall through the cracks, because we do things that no other people do because we do them through volunteers. And we do, one of the things we do is install wheelchair ramps
Oh,
to help
okay.
with people's mobility. So that may be with or without a handrail.
Okay.
We have we have a woman who was a very active person, and she called with a need. She fell last year and broke her hand, and was told if she fell again, she would never regain use of that hand. And so she's very cautious, and she only has 3 steps down from the front of her house, and she needed railing put in. Just a handrail. She didn't need a ramp because she's okay footing-wise, but hand-wise, she really needed to be steady and that kind of thing.
So safety-wise, it was imperative she have something
Correct.
like that. I can
Yes.
understand that, especially
Yes.
in the cold and the ice
Right.
and the snow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What about one of the items on here is repair leaks on roofs? Are we talking minor or major repairs?
Well, we don't do a lot of major, something I should talk about is that Elder Help is not federally funded. I mean, we don't receive funding through any major sources. We depend on donors, people in the community to make donations, whether that be financial or through actual services that a business can provide, as well as grants that we may have received through perhaps United Way. We've also received grants through the 3 Cs, Rotary, Garden Club, those kinds of sources. And so we're very cautious about our donor dollars, and they are usually earmarked for specific projects.
Oh, okay.
And so, as far as what we repair, we cannot do anything major. One of the major things is our own liability because it's volunteers that are doing.
So it's all
these
volunteers
repairs.
that are doing the work,
Yeah,
not
and so we
necessarily
don't want-
contractors.
Yeah, we don't want
Okay.
the liability of somebody being up on a roof doing a major repair. But we have done some minor roof repairs, especially if it's like a mobile home, where we can do one of the I think
The
it's like
patches.
a patch or a tar or something like that. Or in the middle of winter, we've had some calls and we've gone up there and put a tarp over it, if nothing else, just to make it until it can be dry enough to be repaired in such a way. Financially, we try to see if the senior can help with some of the repair costs, and then the labor is usually gratis. We don't charge for labor. We usually have volunteers who do those repairs without charge. We have, however, we have gotten involved in a larger situation. I did help a woman here in Post Falls get her roof repaired, and because a grant had not gotten through, we had Elder Help put the word out through emails and got a few businesses to come forward and to do the repairs. We had to provide the materials, and then they provided the labor. So we have had business partners who have agreed in a certain situation to do those kinds of things. So.
And I know one of the things that I hear a lot about, and I know a number of people hear a lot about, is chopping wood.
Oh yes, that's our big thing.
How much firewood do you all make or put together?
Well, here's what happened. We saw a great need years ago for people who perhaps their furnace went out. They didn't have the ability to pay for furnace repairs, but they might have had a backup system where they had a fireplace or a wood stove. And so we kind of got into that, and it's really grown. And so we provide firewood for seniors, mostly if that's their only source of heat. last year we actually provided 240 cords of wood
Wow.
for seniors, which was really huge. Right now we have just year to date, we have 53 wood clients year to date right now. Of course, we're not in the cold season right now. I'm sure that we will be getting more clients, and we have given out 85 cords of wood to date right now. Which brings me to something that I would like to mention is we are looking for wood clients. If there is someone out there who needs some wood, we would ask that you call our office at 661-8870 and make that request, and we can see if you qualify for our program and get the word out. We have a volunteer team leader who she heads up our wood program. We have volunteers that split and deliver the wood, and a lot of times we don't stack it, but we do deliver it, and we just ask for a donation because the wood program does cost fuel for the truck, fuel for the splitters, and most of that work is done out at Grace Tree Company. They have been very, very gracious in allowing us, when they have wood that is in their lot, they allow us to use it and split it and recycle it and give it to seniors, which is like such a gift.
They're fantastic over there.
Yes,
I really like those
yes.
folks.
So I'd like to give them that plug. And then we do have a lot of donors, a lot of private donors, people who call because a tree fell on their property or whatever, and we cannot chop down a full-size tree. We don't climb trees or anything like that, but we can certainly saw and split and deliver it. And we've gone to people's private property where they've given us permission and done just that.
So if you, on your property, you have trees that have gone down from various storms or age or whatever, and you don't want it there and you don't need it for firewood.
Right.
And instead of it just laying there and rotting, you can call Elder Help. They'll come and get it.
Right.
And use it.
Right.
For good.
I do want to mention, though, as a caution for that a lot of times we get a lot of phone calls, and because it's volunteer, it's difficult because we have to have the ability for somebody to, go out and do that. And get it. And, sometimes it takes a little time, and of course it's easier if the wood is dried out. So even if we didn't get to do that this fall, we can perhaps do it in the spring. I mean, our program goes pretty much all year long unless there's snow on the ground. We're out there splitting wood.
Wow.
It's every Saturday.
And that's a really good point in that if you know you're going to have a problem come winter, even though it's nice and warm here now,
right,
give Elder Help a call now so they can get you cleared through the process.
Absolutely.
And
yes,
get you on the
important.
schedule.
Yep, very important.
And you said you've got, 53 clients right now?
Yeah, 53 clients that we've served just in 2012.
Is that the highest number you've had? Or?
No, I don't have. I think last year we had about 100 clients, and we gave out 240 cords of wood. Some of these are repeat clients that we do every year. Some get more than one cord, so it just depends. But we're, like I said, we are in need right now of clients because we have more wood than we have clients right now. So people aren't really thinking about that.
No, because it's nice and warm out,
yes,
and they're not even
but
concerned.
If you are out there and you need wood, please call our office because we may be able to help you.
That's fantastic. Now, and if you want to help volunteer, you've got people that pick up the wood. You've got people that split the wood, and you've got people that deliver it.
Yes.
Are those the major?
Well, usually, I've done it myself. We just usually show up, and there's people that are actively involved in using the splitters. We have hydraulic splitters on site, and then we need people to chuck the wood into the truck.
Okay.
So you're hauling the wood after it's split into the truck, and then usually two people go on a delivery. We do have a vehicle, a truck that does kind of dump it, but we also use other pickup trucks where people have to get
Right.
it out by hand.
Right.
to put it in a person's yard or driveway or wherever.
I'm sure having that firewood has probably saved a number of people's lives.
Absolutely, it has. It
Because when you're
has.
running short of money, you try to cut back where you can.
Right.
And, that might be one area that people do.
Yeah, exactly. I know of a gentleman that we helped this last year, and he and his wife live alone, and he always did his own wood. He has a furnace which hasn't worked in years, and he likes to do his own firewood. And since he had a stroke this last year, he was very, somebody had referred him to our office through the Area Agency on Aging. And I went myself and knocked on his door and said, I'm here to haul your wood. And he was just like, what? And my daughter and it took us 15 minutes, and we just wheelbarrowed it over to his driveway so that he could have access to it, because he's just not able to do that anymore. And then he was so excited about that. He just couldn't believe the program. And since then, he's called our office for a few other things, and we've gone over and helped him split and stack his wood again. And it's just been a lifesaver for him, because he's had a stroke. He just can't do it. And his dignity is so strong that he really didn't want to ask for help. But then once it was given to him, he was able to see that this is really neat.
And these are nice people coming and doing this.
And they're not here to ask anything of me. They're just here to help. And that's what's great about Elder Help, because it's all volunteers, and it's all people that all they want to do is help. Nobody's there to take advantage of anyone.
Very good. Well, we need to take a break, but I want to continue talking about the programs that you all have, and you've got something coming up for the winter we want to talk about too.
Yes, definitely.
So we will be right back. She had a hard time with this. Yes.
I don't have a hard time talking, really, typically.
If it was written down and she had to memorize and talk it, she could do it. But just
Well, see, I had a few things here that I was like, okay, I want to mention this, and if there's some statistics, because one of the things I want to mention is, which I think is important, because I did write down what the Kootenai County population is for aging, and talk about the baby boomers and why that's so important, and why Elder Help is an important.
Well, let's talk about that then.
So that's what we can talk about.
Okay.
Next. Yeah.
So how do you want me to start that conversation?
Maybe we need to first of all, I do want to keep talking more about all the things that we do, but I think that it's important to talk about who we serve, that it is mostly Kootenai County.
Well, you want me to say now this Elder Help only, because is there an Elder Help up in Sandpoint?
There was.
Okay.
We and Johnny, who was there today with the Wise Guy thing, she had tried to start it up there, and she wanted to do it under our umbrella, and we had to back away from it after about a year, because they were starting to send us bills, and they wanted to have it under our umbrella. We needed to back off, because financially we needed to get our own act together.
Okay.
We couldn't help them too financially. We just weren't set up for that, because we didn't have the grants and whatnot
so
to sustain both programs.
How about I say, before we go any further in some of the other programs that you all have, let's talk about, we talked about the qualifications, if I qualify, but there's actually a physical qualification as to where you're located.
Right.
And how about if we start it like that?
Right.
And then go into that.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, sounds good. And then we can kind of get into the statistics of Kootenai County, and then eventually we'll talk about our weatherization program.
Okay.
And some of the other things we do.
We'll do that. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
And we're back. Again, this is Connie Clark with Home Helpers. You're listening to the Senior Moment. And I've got Sally Richards in here with me this afternoon, and she is one of the board members for Elder Help of North Idaho. And we've been talking about some of the programs that Elder Help has for the seniors in our community, and a lot of talk about the wood program and the firewood for folks, and they really do need to call now so they can get on the list for the winter. And we talked about the qualifications, how you would know if you qualify for assistance through Elder Help, but we didn't talk about where you were physically located. So what geographic area does Elder Help cover?
We are primarily Kootenai County. In the past, we had done, a little bit down in Kellogg, in the Silver Valley, and perhaps up towards Bonner County. But since we felt that we needed to just focus our needs on Kootenai County because there is such a great need here, that's where our main focus is Kootenai County.
Yeah, there's a large percentage of population here in Kootenai County that are seniors.
Right. Well, according to the 2010 census, the Kootenai County population had 14.5% over the age of 65, which is about 20,000 people. 13.8% of those people live in poverty. That's probably about 2,800 to 3,000 people. And about 10% of the population are disabled out of those seniors, which is probably about 2,000 to 2,200 of those seniors are disabled.
So you're talking a lot of people.
Yeah, we are.
And even if you're not technically disabled, if you're 85 years old, you can't go out and, I know some of you gentlemen probably can't, but the majority of the people can't go out and chop their own firewood for the winter.
Right.
So you may not be categorized as disabled, but just because of your age and your physical ability, you can't do that anymore.
Right. And I think pride prevents a lot of people from asking for the help, but in reality, you're going to get much more from Elder Help than just an initial repair or a ramp or a little bit of firewood. I mean, you get a lifeline. I feel that it's a lifeline to a phone call away from if something else comes up and you think, oh, maybe Elder Help can help me. We've had people that are clients of ours that they get their wood from us. We've done minor home repairs. We've kind of become, I don't want to say a friend, but it's just somebody on the other line that's reliable, that they know will.
A familiar voice.
Yeah, somebody that they know they can count on, that they don't have to, it's not risky, it's not shady, it's nothing they have to be afraid of. They know that the people that we send out to their homes are screened and these are volunteers and these are caring people that just want to help.
So it's a trusting person.
Right.
Yeah, there is a huge amount of seniors in our community, and just as we've talked about the baby boomers, I mean, every day there's a whole bunch more that are turning 65, and even if they're 60, and that, I think the statistics you said were 65, but you even go down to 55 if someone is disabled.
Right.
So that population is even greater than those statistics. So there are a lot of people just here in our county that can use some kind of help.
Right.
And they really do need to know that it's there.
Yes.
All they have to do is ask.
Yes. And if perhaps if someone calls and they do not seem to qualify for whatever reason, we're very well versed in referring you on to other services, because we have relied, we all collaborate with each other, and if we feel that there's a need for a home health agency to be involved, if we feel that perhaps area agency on aging can be involved with a caseworker and do some more helping with the situation and with the senior, by all means we try to do that in our phone call to give you everything that we have.
This is a really neat community in that all of those folks that are in the senior, I don't want to say industry or community, we all talk to each other. Mm-hmm. And we know who provides what kind of service, and if someone calls and needs some particular help that we can't help them with, we know where to call.
Yes.
That they can receive that help.
Yes. It is a very good community that way, and seniors need to know that we all collaborate with each other. We are, we know, I myself, know a lot of people in the industry with assisted livings and long-term care and home health and the Alzheimer's Association and, even audiologists and funeral directors. I mean, in that scope that we're in, we pretty much know it
We
all.
all talk to each other.
Yes, yes. And we, in our office, we have an office manager who, if she doesn't know, then she'll call me for a resource because I have a social work background and I'm the one that is out in the community, kind of knowing who those resources are. So you can be assured that whatever need you have, it will be dealt with.
Now, we had started talking a little bit. We were talking about the firewood and everything, and I kind of hinted that there was something in the works for winterization.
Yes.
What's that?
We have recently gotten a grant which allows us to do some weatherization, winterization for seniors, and we are in need of a few more clients. We feel that we can serve. When we're talking winterization, we're talking people who may need to have their windows reinforced with plastic to kind of help keep out the elements during the winter. Perhaps it involves trailer skirting. A lot of the mobile home skirting needs to be shored up so that the pipes don't freeze. We also will be wrapping some of the piping underneath mobile homes. Whatever, any kind of door and window sealants that we can provide that'll help with your energy costs as well as keeping out the cold. So we have a work day on September 22nd where we have a group of church members as well as community members that are going to be going out to those homes to do that work. So we do need some clients.
So is it a one-time thing you're going out to do, or
well,
is
it's one time if we can use all the monies that we got for the grant in that one day and get the number of clients. But if we would definitely be still taking referrals for that because we have a gentleman who does help with our home repairs. So even after that day, I'm sure that we can help people if they call.
Okay.
So
Is this a new program, or have you had
no,
this
we've
passed?
always done the weatherization. It's just that now that we've gotten a specific grant for that, it helps with our funding because we're able to now have the supplies ready to do that. Avista Utilities has always helped us with that and may be helpful again in providing some of those, but we'll be able to do a little bit more and get more than just the little basic plastic for the windows. And
So you can get the heavy-duty stuff.
We're going to get more heavy-duty type of things so that we can really do a home justice. So
Do you know about a guesstimate of how many people you help weatherize their homes?
I know it's hard to say whether it's all been weatherization. I mean, sometimes our repair person goes out and does a little bit of everything.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes he'll go out and do a little laundry list of, put a handrail in and, fix my electrical outlet. And, oh, by the way, I also, so I don't really have an accurate number.
Okay.
I know that I think this year, I've heard that I think there's been about 63 clients
Wow.
that our repair person has helped.
That's fantastic.
So that's what I think it's approximately so far. And, that's not just weatherization things, that's minor home repairs. And he's also, I do know that he's put, I think was it 7 ramps this year? We also got a grant to do some wheelchair ramps. Some monies for that. We wanted to do aluminum ramps because our initial program was we had a welder who would put together these ramps.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes, and people were donating quite a bit of money for those pieces, and we were putting them in people's homes rent-free. They would rent them for $5 a month, and then that way it helped us keep track of where they were and keep them accountable, and then they felt that they were, contributing.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, we lost our person that would do that kind of ramp for us, and so our repair guy builds them out of wood. And so we felt that with the monies we got for the grant, we could probably serve 3 times the amount of people doing the wood ramps, and he is more than willing to repair or build a wooden ramp. And we, if we put one in and it causes problems later on, we go back and repair it or whatever. We've also we've had people who have called with a ramp that needed some. It was slippery, and we've had people fall on them. So he puts it's almost like roof shingles on them to kind of keep that for traction.
Right.
So he's done that as well. So yeah, and we recently helped a woman who she could absolutely not get out of her house, and her family, whenever they wanted to take her anywhere, had to lift her physically, carry her down the steps because she had no ramp, and we put one in for her, and now she is so much more independent.
Oh my heavens!
It's just those kinds of stories. It's such a little thing, but how big of a thing it is to one person.
How important it is.
When you hear those stories and you do that for somebody, it just warms your heart. So
you get a little star next to your name when you go to heaven.
Right. Exactly.
That sounds like a good thing.
We need some stars.
Yes, I agree. And one of the things I see on the bottom here that I, to tell you the truth, was not aware of, and that says Elder Companion.
Well, we do calls, like Are You OK calls. We want to be doing more of that, and we are really looking for volunteers to be doing that kind of work. We're always searching for volunteers with time, talent, and treasure. The Elder Companion Program is something that we are trying to get off the ground, but it's similar to the Senior Companion Program, which is run by the Health Department. However, we have felt that we have to get more things in place, such as background checks and liability and that kind of thing, before we would do that, placing people in other people's homes.
So is yours more of a telephone checkup kind of thing?
Right now it's more of a telephone thing, but also it's almost like a companionship. When we have people that go out and do some of these repairs and these things, sometimes they go back and they do a little visiting, they get attached. And I do it myself. I have a lady I've been helping for over a year, and I take her out to lunch, and I just kind of, I just go and check on her and make sure that she's doing okay. And I think that's what happens with a lot of our volunteers. They build a little relationship with these people.
Well, you do that when you start talking to someone and you're a part of their life.
Exactly. But we would like to expand the Elder Companion Program so that it would be where any people of any age can go, and perhaps there's a spouse that needs to get out for a few hours because they have a loved one that has dementia or something, and they need to just get some space. And so we'd like to be able to provide that. So we're trying to expand that program a little bit.
Very good, very good. Now, tell me about some of the other things that Elder Help does, because I've seen you all in the community doing things, working with different groups and stuff.
Well, we have in the past. We used to do a huge food drive at Christmas time, and that's really how I got hooked into Elder Help. I started in '05 with the food drive. I saw an ad in the paper, and
that was it.
Yeah, we were helping quite a few people around Christmas time, and volunteers were loving it. However, we've kind of decided that let's leave the food to who does it best, which is the food bank. And so we've backed off of that so that we can work on some of these other things and do the things we do well. Better.
More of the environmental kind of.
Yes, more of the health and safety things. We do refer people when there's a food need, and we try to collaborate with the food banks and things so that we can help where we can. We did get involved last year when they had the huge Thanksgiving meal that Fedora restaurant provided, and Elder Help was pivotal in organizing seniors that couldn't get to the Fedora for their Thanksgiving meal. So we got a bunch of volunteers, and we took the meals out to those that were homebound. We picked them up at Fedora and took them out. So in that respect, we are involved in food, but in that kind of a way, rather than doing a food drive and, trying to. The community's response has been great with the food drive, but as the economy has kind of slipped, people who are able to donate has slipped a little bit, and so we feel that, we can just kind of help out the food bank and other people better than us doing it ourselves.
Well, very good. Well, we're going to take another break, but I want to continue talking about elder help and the kinds of things that you all do for the community and what the community can do to get involved in helping people.
Right.
So we'll be right back. Okay, where would you like to go? Anything? Anything you haven't talked about?
Well, I mean, some of the other things that we've done are, that we haven't touched on. I mean, really yard work, helping people move. We've done that. And then just getting, as far as volunteers, let me see if there's anything here in my notes that kind of might help jog something in my head. I don't know that there is. Unless there's some personal story, like some stories of people.
That would be good.
I have a few of those just in my own head of people that we've helped.
Okay, let's talk about then the yard work and the moving, and then I'll bring up, you've been with them for a good deal of time. I'm sure there's some fond memories that you have of people that you've helped.
Right.
Okay.
Good segue.
And we're back. This is Connie Clark with Home Helpers, and you're listening to the Senior Moment. And this afternoon, I have Sally Richards with me, and we've been talking about Elder Help of North Idaho. And I've been looking at I've been looking at their brochure here of all the different things services that they provide for seniors. But there were a couple things that you mentioned during the break that aren't on this list that you all do to help seniors. Sally, tell us a couple of those things.
Well, we do a couple times a year. We get involved through the United Way Day of Caring. We do a day where people in the community who give to United Way are able to also see where their money is going, and they will participate for the day with an agency that United Way funds. And since Elder Help is one of those people that United Way funds, we have had volunteers from businesses around the community, such as U.S. Bank and Hecla Mining and places like that, where they've spent the day with us doing projects. And usually it involves going out and doing the firewood, but we also do a yard work day. And then we've also done a special day in the spring through a organization called CareNet, where we help participate with yard work. It's called Rake and Run, and I submit names from Elder Help, and we've helped quite a few seniors with getting, weed pulling and just raking their yards, making sure their lawn is mowed, either in the spring and the fall, to try and get them.
So in the fall, you could actually help with the leaves?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, when we do take names, if clients want that work done, we put out a kind of an email to our volunteers to see who would like to go and do some yard work for seniors throughout Kootenai County.
So if you've got a couple feet of leaves in your front yard, and you don't have the physical ability to go out there and clean them up,
right,
that Elder Help can come help.
Right. We do our best to get as many volunteers as we can to do that. And again, because it's volunteers, you don't know who you're going to get to answer that call, but we do our best to try and help as many seniors as we can with that need. We have helped a little bit with snow shoveling, although we that's kind of, it depends whether somebody has a vehicle that they can do it with, or if we have put the call out and we may have a group that maybe has Boy Scouts or some kids that'll go do it. We try and put our feelers out to get those kinds of things for seniors as well. But we in the past we haven't been extremely successful with the snow shoveling end of it, but have tried to do what we can to get other groups. And then we also have helped people move. We've had a lot of situations where seniors may be having to move from one place to another, or maybe moving into an assisted living facility, and need some help getting that done, and we've done that as well.
Yeah, because that is a daunting task. I know what moving's like.
Yes.
And
I'm right at the throes of it, I know.
And that is, just thinking about it makes you tired.
Right.
You
That's
know.
very stressful. And so if they know that there's going to be somebody there to help,
Somebody they
get
can
that done.
trust
Mm-hmm.
to help them get to where they need to be.
Right.
Well, Elder Help does a lot of things. We've talked about a whole different array of services that they provide to the community, and you've been doing this for quite some time now. I'm sure you've got some stories in your mind that just kind of jump out there.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
That when you're having a moment, you think back and remember something. Tell us some of the things that you remember, some of the
Right.
situations.
Well, I've been doing this since '05. I have quite a background in gerontology and working with seniors, and I also was a caregiver for my own mother for 12 years. And so after she passed away, I felt like it was kind of leaving a little bit of a hole. I've always done Meals on Wheels. I've done Meals on Wheels off and on since 1978, and I've been doing it here in Post Falls since about 2005, 2006, and continue to do it. But with Elder Help, I started with them in 2005, and some of the people that I've helped, they do jump into my mind. I think of them fondly. I have a gentleman who has passed on since, but I got very involved with him for over a year. He came home from the hospital, and he moved into a mobile home he had once lived in, and he really had no belongings. And I was delivering Meals on Wheels to him, and I started seeing what his needs were and helped go to the thrift store, get him some utensils and plates and towels, and we just kind of got him to where he needed to be and be comfortable, and I helped him when he had somebody steal a check and forge it, so I helped get him through that process, to get him with his caseworker. We went to court over that one, and I've had helped him. He almost lost his home, and so helped through legal aid and community action partnership to help him keep his mobile home so that he'd remain in his own home. We provided a ramp for him and yard work for him, and it was through my Meals on Wheels that got me to know him, but then all my work with Elder Help got me to continue with him and see it through, and I was stayed kind of in touch with him until he passed away. I've also had, situations. I did help a lady who had a terrible leak in her roof, and it caused the water to just fall into her bedroom. I mean, it was coming down the walls, and she ended up, they covered it with a tarp through the fire department, and it continued to drip into a bucket for like 4 months. So saw that through, got her, a grant or a loan through the USDA to kind of help her with that, and got her roof fixed through some caring businesses in town. They were able to do some free things for her and get her drywall fixed and her bathroom fixed, and and I still stay in touch with her. So I visit her on occasion, and it's just one of those things. I feel like it's very important when you start something, you got to see it through. So some of these people's lives are not, a lot of our seniors, they have more than just simple issues, and especially when they have no family members, or they have family members that aren't able to help them as much as they'd like.
There are a lot of people in that situation.
Yes, very much. And seniors I need to tell you out there, don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that is the number one thing, is that I know your pride and whatnot sometimes can stall that, but it's very important that you know that there are very caring community people here, and that you don't be afraid to reach out, because you will be very surprised what you're going to get in return for that.
So call to elder help may not be just for wood. I mean, if they come out there and they talk to you and find out that you do need other things, the folks of elder help are going to be there to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's right. Bottom line.
The volunteers that help out there, they've got huge hearts. That's why they're doing that. And they're part of our community that really cares for everyone. And so, again, what Sally said, don't be afraid to ask. The resources are there. If you don't use them, they're going to go away. So you really do need to use the resources that we have here. And talking about the wood, I mean, yeah, it's nice and wonderful and sunny now, but in a couple months, we're not going to be there. And so you need to start thinking about it now. If you don't have wood to keep you warm during the winter, you need to call elder help, and so you can go through their qualification process. Don't wait till it's an emergency and you're freezing in your home and you don't have any wood, and now you need it now.
Right.
You know, let's do some pre-planning here.
Mm-hmm.
And give them a call. And their number is 661-8870. They're here in Kootenai County. And if you get a recording or something, leave a message. You know, these are volunteers, so there's not someone there 24/7 at that phone. So leave a message. What would you like to tell us, Sally, that, you know, will bring everybody, I guess, to realize how important this is?
I just guess I need to reiterate that I think most of the people involved in elder help really enjoy what they're doing, and it's contagious. And I think that seniors need to take advantage of it, but we also need to put the call out to volunteers. If you are out there and maybe you're older and you're able-bodied and you want to do something, please give us a call. There's office work that some people can do. We can.
So it doesn't have to be physical labor.
No, I mean we've had actual seniors come in and they help answer the phones for us and take down the information, because we only have a part-time office manager, and so if she was sitting on the phone all day, she would get nothing done. So it's helpful to have these other people. And so, you know, we also have seniors, and we want to tell you that if there's something you have to give, think about doing, you know, sharing. If you've received something and you want to give back, this is an excellent way to give back. It's not all physical labor. There's things that, you know, you can be doing too.
You could be one of the people that call to check on people to see how they're doing.
Exactly.
My mother-in-law used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in her church, she was one of the ladies on the committee that would call families that maybe someone was sick or something, and that was her thing. She would sit and be on the phone all day long, and she just loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that she could sit and talk to people and
right.
didn't have to go out and do any physical labor, but she had all these friends out there that she got to talk to.
Right. Well, there's so many seniors that are very isolated, and it may not be of their choosing, and you know, that's a good thing that you can do even from your own home. If you wanted to make some phone calls to help other people, I mean, you would make friends that way. So that's a good thing. Absolutely.
So if you need any kind of assistance with any of your environment, with your home, if you need your home winterized, if you need some firewood, if you need a ramp built, repairs, call Elder Help. Again, their number is 661-8870. And on the flip side of that, if you want to volunteer to help, or if you want to volunteer materials.
Right. Materials, or we always accept, we're very good at accepting donations as well. I mean, a lot of people think it's a very good cause of the things that we do, and we're very careful with donor dollars. So that's another way that you can get involved.
So if you want to get involved to volunteer your services or to volunteer materials or to make a donation, again, call 771-8870. It's Elder Help of North Idaho. And they'll be glad to get you involved in what's going on and to help as many people as we can here in the county.
Right.
Well, thank you, Sally, for coming and talking with me this afternoon. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Connie, for inviting me.
And again, if you need firewood, give them a call because they're there. We don't want you to freeze out there. I know it's nice and toasty out here now, but we don't want you to freeze. So you've been listening to the Senior Moment, and this is Connie Clark with Home Helpers, and we've had Sally Richards with Elder Help, and you all have a wonderful afternoon.